been a long time since anyone believed in the old gods or remembered their names. A thin, unassuming girl in a long t-shirt and socks shivered on the tiled floor. It was cold in the abortion room. The girl was scared. The smell of chlorine, antiseptic, and something medicinal made her disgusted and nauseous. "Come to the chair. Did you bring the diaper? Lay it down." Young woman doctor walked around the room, preparing tools. "We will fix the legs, do not twitch." Unwillingly looking at a beautiful statuesque woman in a white coat, the girl hesitated at the table with syringes, clamps, gauze, and other things necessary for the operation. "Come on. Get in, what is it now? I have 8 more of you." "Marina Sverigovna, what's in the card? Anesthesia paid?" shouted from the next room. "What, General? General." "Rita, hurry up." Black as pitch eyes through sparks. "Come on." While the girl tried to settle on a high chair, the doctor put on a mask, had time to wash her hands, and was already standing next to her, in surgical gloves and with a mirror at the ready. "Don't be afraid, baby," she said in an unexpectedly gentle tone. "I know how to fix it." Looking at the tear-filled eyes, the shaking thin hands clasped together on her stomach to white knuckles, Marina thought that nothing had changed over the years. They still came to her the same way. Even if they don't remember, don't understand, they still bring her their sacrifice. "Rita," she shouted to the side. "Come on." A full-figured nurse jumped up to the girl, quickly giving her an intravenous injection, asking her to count from 10 to 1. On the count of 4, the girl fell asleep. Pulling the stool closer, Marina put her hand on the girl's stomach and listened to her fate, to that new sleeping consciousness that would grow with her body in her mother's belly. She saw that the fetus was the result of one night, accidental, that the girl was a student, living among 100 of them in a dormitory, going to school, working in the evenings, running with a tray. All in all, an ordinary case, if it weren't for the one being created inside her. The consciousness of the fetus was murky, gray. It poured viscous puddles over the mother's fate, breaking, trampling her life into hopeless mud and dreariness, destroying her morally and then physically. "The right decision, girl, the right one." Marina patted her patient's stomach. "We don't need to breed schizophrenics." And pushing the bulky apparatus, she began to correct the girl's mistake. Next came a succession of different women, united by a common desire to get rid of those who would make life difficult for them. Marina accepted them without judgment. Everyone decides how to change their destiny. It was their right. She looked at them, listened, encouraged them. Her loud voice echoed off the tiled walls. The nurse ran around like a little whirlwind, giving, applying, bringing, and carrying. By 5 o'clock, there was a small break. One of the patients didn't show up. "Mora, how about a quick cup of tea?" Rita dashed to the other end of the hall carrying iron bics. "I could use a cognac now." "Oh, my back is stiff." The doctor stood up and stretched. The starched robe stretched on her high chest, threatening to unbutton. Raising her head up, she shouted, "Father, when will this be over?" "No, never." Ritka laughed, and wagging her weighty ass deliberately, went into the back room. "That's right." Sighing sorrowfully, Marina pulled her white cap off her head, and her raven-colored hair flopped down on her shoulders. How many centuries have passed? The memory of men is not long, nor is their age. And where can the eternal go if you are not remembered, if you do not offer prayers, if you do not make the sacrifices that are so necessary to keep the spark alive? Blood is needed. Faith is needed. Not worship, but faith that she, Marina, is in this world, that in death she will be with you, and in life she will help you if you ask well. And she did. Not everyone, of course, but many. She still managed to settle down somehow to get what she needed for her existence. But some people were not so lucky. Most of her brothers and sisters were gone, the ones who had been so forgotten that there was no one to remember their names. Marina would be happy even annoying Brother Samargal, who considered it a good joke once a year to burn an effigy in the form of favorite sister. But in this world there are few eternal Svarazhik. Yes, here Lycomancy, her daughters, those what no century, all enjoy. People still remember them where to go from diseases. And he whom they remember, at least sometimes they remember, he has not gone into oblivion yet. It has always been so with people. The one they think about, the one who remains in their memory is alive. Even if they don't see him, he seems to live somewhere nearby, but he just doesn't come. The sad daily musings were interrupted by a timid knock on the door. "May I?" A woman's figure slipped through the crack, slouching oddly. The grayish complexion, the nightgown that looked like her grandmother had slept in, the darned but clean white socks, all screamed poverty and sickness. Morena rolled her eyes. "Heavenly Father, why this one? I can't believe anyone fell for such a thing. I'm here. I have to go. Where am I going?" The woman was shaking nervously. The patient's card in her outstretched hand shook like a leaf in the wind. "I came in early, and there was no one there. The nurse there said you'd be in. Come in, give me your chart. Tuck my hair under my cap. Wipe the displeasure off my face in a second. Open the chart. The surgical? It's vacuum only today. You're here on the wrong day. Please, please." The gray-haired woman cried out. "I really need it. I've been released from the cloister for one day." "From where?" Morena raised her eyebrows in surprise. Her hands were already on fire, her palms prickling with needles. "This is it. The thing you've been waiting for weeks for. That Treba that will give fire, warmth, pleasure. Let the holy man beg, praying as if she were her own God. He won't get rid of her sinful child." She really wanted to smile. Not even to smile, but to grin with all her teeth. That's the luck at the end of the day. "I've been a novice for 6 months. But then the evil one got in the way." And looking at the still surprised face of the doctor, the woman added, "Not me, our father. He'd had a little too much to drink, and I was his maid. And so, I pray for him every day. But what the hell? When he found out it's been 3 months, he sent me to you. He said I'd burn in hell for confusing him, and we'll make up for the baby later. He gave me money. Here, please accept it today, I pray to God. Morena's having fun. Well, come in. You got the diaper? Get on the chair, we're gonna fix your legs, don't move. And look at the chart again. Ooh, your father's greedy. It's only local anesthesia. You'll have to be patient, as God is your God. Rita." Rita's ruddy face slipped through the door. "I'm coming, what is it, a local?" Looking at the patient's face, which had grown even dimmer, Morena suddenly said, "As good as new, Rita, as good as new. A general? Is not paid for?" Asked in surprise from behind the wall. "Yes, it is. Do as I say." When the woman passed out, helplessly sprawled on the chair, Mora stood next to her, and tilted her head, began to watch and listen to the unattractive gray fate. Growing up with her grandmother, her mother died, stabbed by her drunken husband. School kids tease me with stinky. Grandma thinks she should wash once a week, does laundry even less often. Grandma goes to church, newly available after the communists and the collapse of a large country, takes the girl, almost a girl, to communion, saying that all worldly things sin. He scolds her for her period, for daring to paint her lips with her friend's lipstick, that she needs a bra. There, her tits grow, shameless. At home, instead of food prayers, if you are sick, pray. Things from the distribution in the church to the needy, from books, the Psalter. She finished school and works as a janitor. You can't go to school, they inculcate sinful thoughts there. Girls go after boys. If you bring one more in your hem, I'll kill you. The grandmother dies, the rules remain. Half a life goes by like that. Gray, dreary, miserable. Mop the floor, go home, pray. Cleaning at home on the weekend, TV, you can watch a little bit, sinful channels flip through. A delay of a couple of minutes, God forgive me, the devil has taken me, and kneel in front of the altar until night. Not even a cat, my grandmother said that only dirt from them. Don't dare. I'm fired from my job. The organization closed down. It's scary to go somewhere else. So she goes to church. There she is called to the monastery on full provision, but only donate the apartment for the good, and your life will make sense, will shine with new colors, and God bless you for your generosity. And here she is at the priest's maid. She makes her bed. Inside, the consciousness of the fetus glows yellow, warm. Something good this unborn human being can bring to this world. Pure and good, but conceived in drunken fights, in violence. I'll help you any way I can, Saint, whispers a beautiful white-faced woman, sitting down in front of her open legs with a scraper. Black shadows swoop around, swirling, sliding down the walls. When it was finished, Morena took off her gloves, which had turned red, and tossed them into the tank. Once more she looked at the sleeping patient's face. What a stupid, sorrowful woman, she thought. And the fetus was not 3 months old, but more. Someone made a mistake or lied, for it's already formed. Arms, legs. Mora came closer, put her hand on the woman's forehead, and with her other hand she whispered over the body. Kishtavaya, Kishtamansha, Kishtavaya, Kishtamansha. Yup Sherry, Yup Sherry, Yup Sherry, Yup Sherry. Shoot, Kishawaya, Hamani Havaya. KSCHSCH, Kishawaya. A snake tongue, forgotten even by the gods. It was used to cast the most powerful purification spells. She patted with her hands on all parts of the body of the gray-haired novice, straightening and cleansing from the dogmas and rules imposed by force, from the stupid prohibitions invented, restoring and pulling out all the light and reasonable that she could from this battered creature. Kishkawaya. Kishkawaya. Morena sat in her office and smoked. The large window was filled with evening darkness. On the table was a simple clay mug, in which red wine was poured under the rim. Ritka came in and tiredly plumped down on the couch. Shall I pour it? What a day today. My eyes are blurry. And bloody boys in my eyes. Morena quoted. That mouse with the surgical, has she left yet? Yeah, she's weird. She said she was going home. Thank God she hadn't had time to rewrite the apartment. She even laughed. Did you empty the bio-waste tank downstairs? No, not yet. Tomorrow. Let me have some. Wow, this wine is strong. Don't stay here tonight, mother. I'll be going now. Rita rose heavily, her hands in her lap, and shuffling with rubber slippers, went out the door. Morena entered the hall, where it was always cold. And now, in her presence, the tiles were quickly covered with frost. She took the lid off a large iron tank and peered into the bloody mess. There it was. Putting her hand elbow deep in the slurry with burgundy clots, she swept it around in a circle, as if fishing for something. Finally, she pulled out an incomprehensible piece of something, shook off the excess clots, and then the phone rang. The pocket of her robe lit up, and the melody of an old song arranged for folk metal came on. Mora quickly wiped her hand on her robe, leaving brown streaks on her side, took out the phone. Seeing the name of the caller, smiled happily. Lyalka. Hi. Where are you lost? Yes, we have a cold. How can you not come? And when? What am I chewing? I'm not chewing. Is it crunchy? Oh, it's just me. Well, a little bit. Arms, legs. What, ew? You want buttercups and flowers and round dances, but I need blood and flesh. Come back, sister. I'm so bored without you. New boyfriend. Huh? Love? Well, you're the usual. Don't love him to death, or I'll come for him. Bye-bye. Kisses. There was a ringing in my ear. Lilia, my favorite sister. It's spring. Once a year she shows her nose. Mora bit off another finger. Tender, crunchy, delicious. Red dripped onto the floor. Warmth spread through her tired body. Should I get another foot? It had been a long time since anyone believed in the old gods or remembered their names.